Hey Lorain County basketball fans, welcome back to another episode of In the Paint, brought to you by our friends at First Federal Savings of Lorain. The action is starting to pick up here in Lorain County High School basketball, but before we dive into things, make sure you like and subscribe to that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel, and also pick up a copy of that Winter Forecast magazine available here at the Chronicle Telegram and also at the studios of WEOL in downtown Elyria. Come by and pick one up while supplies last. And again, make sure you like and subscribe to that Chronicle Telegram YouTube channel. It's the best way, folks, to keep up to date with all the latest videos and content. So make sure you drop a like and subscribe, turn that notification icon on, and you're all set to go. So what has happened in this past week of action? Well, conference play is certainly starting to heat up. Let's start first on the boys' side, and in the SWC, how about those North Ridgeville Rangers? A 20-point comeback at Elyria earlier this week. The Pioneers started fast and hot in that game, but the Rangers kept their composure. They're able to come back, and that's huge because this North Ridgeville team lost to Avon this past Friday, and they were able to kind of keep their composure and piece together that comeback earlier this week again at Elyria and on the road too. Much easier said than done to go on the road and pull off a 20-point comeback like that. So it's the usual suspects for the Rangers, though. Jake Boynar, the senior, he had 19. Griffin Toure poured in 18. So again, the usual guys for the Rangers getting it done for Coach Ben Chase. North Ridgeville sits at 6-1, just one game back of Avon Lake in that SWC. We'll talk about the Shoremen here in a minute. We brought up Avon. They knocked off North Ridgeville on Friday. They've had two big wins, including that North Ridgeville game, since the Eagles lost at Avon Lake about a week ago. And again, a 2-point win over North Ridgeville on Friday. They followed that with a 68-50 win over Olmsted Falls. So Avon taking down two of the top dogs in the SWC. Going back to that Avon Lake loss, that was a game in the fourth quarter that they were up. They ended up blowing the lead. That was not the case in that Avon game. So I think this is a North Ridgeville team, an Avon team that continues to grow and become a little better and more closer knit as the season has gone on. You had 4 Eagles finishing in double figures in that win over Olmsted Falls. Zane Austin and Nate Farley each had 16. Farley had back-to-back 16-point games. So a couple of guys playing really well for Coach Mike Fitch. All right, let's talk about Avon Lake sitting at the top of that SWC. 6-0 on the season, 4-0 in conference play. They smothered Midview on Friday, 53-21. That was a game that had a lot of expectations, a lot of hype going into that. People thinking that was going to be a game that maybe came down to the wire. Not the case, as Avon Lake runs away with that. Isaac Richardson, Matthew Stewie both finish in double figures. And Avon Lake followed that up with a 64-39 win over Amherst on Tuesday. So this Avon Lake team playing some outstanding defense right now. And of course, complementing that with some nice offensive game as well. In the Lorain County League, Brookside stays hot, and you heard a thriller on Tuesday night on WEOL. They go to Columbia and knock off the Raiders in the Raider Dome, 74-72. 24 points for Avery Young as the guard continues to just have an outstanding start to 2022, and 17 for sophomore Nolan Wechter. So that's kind of a really nice dynamic 1-2 punch for Coach Larry Babbix. And this was a Cardinals team. They were down 8 with just 6 minutes left to go. They come back, they get the win. Shout out to Brookside right at the top of that Lorain County League. Clearview lost to that Brookside team on Friday. They come back with a huge 78-72 win this week over Black River. 3 Clippers finishing in double figures. Jai Walton had 25, Keith Colvin had 17, and Cy Christensen finished with 16. Firelands picked up their first conference win of the season. They knock off Wellington 56-42, outscoring the Dukes 22-6 in the fourth quarter. So a shout out to first-year head coach Colin Myers picking up his first conference win. Elyria Catholic, they roll by Cleveland Central Catholic 63-50. That's EC's second win of the season. Thomas Nieders had 17, Colin Keneally with 15. They both had 10 rebounds, so a pair of double-doubles for EC in that win. At the Westlake Holiday Hoops Classic, myself and Jared Kozar had the play-by-play call for you over there. A tough showing for Oberlin. They kind of get run off the floor against Nordonia, then Westlake takes care of them the other night. So again, tough showing for the Phoenix, but they're still unbeaten in conference play. So some things to look forward to if you're Oberlin. Lorain, though, a big win over Westlake in day one. They just fall short in the championship to Nordonia, 50-49, but it was a really nice 2 days for Jaden Guerra Howard and Isaiah Killian. So this is a Lorain team still with a lot to look forward to. And Open Door picks up a 78-72 win over Northwestern. 4 Patriots finishing in double figures. RJ Penny, Julius Moon, Caleb Brooks, and Anthony Januzzi. So there's kind of what's happened on the boys' side of things. Now let's jump over to the girls, where Elyria picked up their first win of the season, and they needed it a huge 71-17 victory over Brookside. Yeah, you saw that score right. Now, this was a game where the Pioneers, they were averaging just 29 points a contest coming into things. So to put up 71, I know that was a huge thing for Coach Tony Brown to see his team do. Hannah Miller leading the way with 26, a very talented senior guard. So a big congrats to Elyria on their first win of the campaign. Now, heading into this week, Columbia, Firelands, and Keystone, all undefeated in Lorain County League play. They're undefeated on the season as a whole, actually. So this will be a very interesting week to see kind of how the top of that Lorain County League shakes out. I know the Raiders and the Falcons will meet up at some point this week. So it'll be very interesting to see kind of at the end of this week where the top of that Lorain County League sits on the girls' side. And the EC girls, the Lady Panthers, they're rolling since an early loss to those Midview Lady Middies. They've rattled off 4 straight wins since. And Isabel Nieders and Carter McCrae have pieced together some really outstanding performances for Coach Rothgary. So this is Elyria Catholic team that I know they lost a lot from last year, but they're proving they're still here to play in 2022. So let's go to the college corner where we take a look at some former Lorain County athletes. And look, I know we're in basketball season, it's in the paint, but I got to give some love to the football guys right now because it's bowl season. You got a couple of former athletes here in Lorain County that are bowling. Namely former Avon kicker, I should say, Nathaniel Vakos. He was 19-23 on the season for field goals this year, only missed 1 extra point. He was a third-team freshman All-American, so a very nice season for Nathaniel. His Ohio Bobcats will be in the Arizona Bowl on December 30th, taking on Wyoming. A couple of other tidbits elsewhere. Avon Lake kicker Owen Wiley commits to the University of Akron, my alma mater. Go Zips. So a shout out to Owen and a big congratulations to him for making that commitment. And how about Medina wide receiver Brennan Schramm betting on himself? He's going to walk on and commit to play at Ohio State. So that'll be very exciting to see what Brennan is able to do in his collegiate career. A bunch of other former Lorain County athletes also going bowling as far as college football is concerned. I know Chris Sweeney had a real nice write-up on that. You can see it at ChronicleT.com. So what's coming up this week as we head into the holiday weekend? Well, Thursday, we'll have an awesome doubleheader on WEOL. We've got Cloverleaf at Clearview. Now, that's a scheduled 6:30 tip-off. We'll have that one on Stream 2 only. Why? Because at 7 o'clock on the radio, it'll be Wellington and Elyria Catholic. If you missed it, Wellington and EC, they were supposed to play Friday night. We were going to have that game on WEOL. No conflict with Cloverleaf and Clearview. Well, because of the incoming weather, they moved Wellington and EC to Thursday night. So we'll have 2 games on Thursday. Again, Cloverleaf at Clearview on Stream 2 at WEOL.com. Also on the app. That, again, 6:30 scheduled tip-off time there. And then Wellington and Elyria Catholic will be on the radio and Stream 1. So that'll do it for this week. Things are really starting to pick up in Lorain County on the high school basketball front. Teams diving into conference action, and things are going to continue to heat up as the season rolls along. So as we hit the holiday break, hope all of our local athletes have a fantastic holiday break, able to rest up and get ready for the second half of the season, hopefully able to enjoy some time off, and hopefully you, the listener and viewer, enjoy your holiday break as well. So for Krista Bauer behind the camera, I'm Rocco Nucci saying thank you for watching another episode of In the Paint, brought to you by First Federal Savings of Lorain. We'll see you next week.